Hey, what's up guys? It's Kody Manabe from Team Midwest Gaming, and this past weekend I just won my PS5 tournament with Lyrilusc TriBrigade. The difference is that this is 60 cards. There's a funny story about how we came to 60. So Friday was the Xbox tournament, and I bricked 7 games playing 40 cards, so I decided to tell everybody I was going to play 60 cards just so I don't draw a couple of these cards, and it worked out. I only bricked one time during the PS5 tournament, and I felt like this deck was really consistent. So let's start off with the monsters. I run 3 Warbler, 3 Cobalt, 3 Sapphire, 3 Barrel, and 3 Wagtail. So I just decided to max out on all the birds. Drawing a hand full of all birds is really good. It helps you play through other stuff, and overall it's just the main engine of your deck. You want to see everything. And then I run 3 Fractal, 3 Nerval, Cuirass, and Kit. So there is one change that I would make going forward. I'll run a second Kit over another card I played, and I'll show that card later. The card that I decided to run instead was actually just for like a meme with my friends. And then for spells, I ran 3 Bird Call, 3 Jack in the Hand. This is like the best card in the deck. So I was thinking about ways that I can like start my combo efficiently, so I needed more Bird Calls. And I was going through all the different cards like Where Art Thou, Jack in the Hand, and like I decided that Jack in the Hand was the best overall because it allowed you to start a play without committing to your normal summon first, because Where Art Thou, you need that level 1 on field. Giving your opponent that extra card doesn't really matter if you're establishing full board, but something cool about this is if you already have your full combo, during the end of your combo, you can activate this for 3 hand traps that I'll show later on. And then it doesn't matter what hand trap your opponent grabs because your field is already established, so you just get a free hand trap. Then I run 3 Desires, 1 Tanky, 1-for-1 Foolish, and I run Upstart in 60. I know I'm gonna get like memed at for this, but a bunch of people like that I was at the house I was staying with that night, they just told me, yo, play Upstart in 60, and I decided I will, but this should have been the second Kit. Like in my mind, on DB, this is the second Kit. But Upstart was kind of cool. It actually drew me a Warbler in the finals, and I already only had Cobalt, so it drew me Warbler Cobalt. So that's 35 main engine cards. And then for the hand traps, I run the Searchable DD Crow, I run 3 Ash, 3 Veiler, 3 Droll, 3 Nib, 3 Droplet, 3 Talents, and 3 Impermanence. So I decided to play 23 going second cards because I am running 60, and a lot of these are high impact, and in a deck like this, you really need to see your high impact. But you also have really low impact cards like these, and that's why by upping the number of hand traps or going second cards, you're able to see your low impact with at least one of the other high impacts or multiple low impacts. So usually my hands would consist of 2 hand traps and then 3 of my engine cards. I thought this lineup was really good going forward. Brave tokens, I don't think it will change. Nib's gonna be less as impactful, but I still feel like it should be in there for all the other decks that are still gonna combo off without it. And lastly, I run Brick and IO. IO is really good. I drew it 2 times. I drew it once in Swiss, and then the final game of the finals against Sky Striker, and it pretty much secured me the win. Going on to the extra deck, I run 2 Nightingale, 1 Assembled, 1 Robin. This lineup's fairly standard. F0 Draco, This card was great. Downard Zeus. So before in my list, I had Downard Cut. This used to be a flex spot for like win, but I decided that Downard was very important, especially because in a game state where you just need that 4 material Zeus and you can't really get to it otherwise, Downard is really important for that. Also, Downard helps with the Crooked Cook. I don't know if the Shark decks, if they just decide to sit on Crooked Cook, you can just make Downard main phase 2 and then they're going to be forced to commit to a play, or else you're just going to attack over it. For the links, I run Almirage because I run Kit. Before I didn't used to run Kit, so this used to be Link Kribo. Almirage is okay. I think Link Kribo is better because it can dodge Imperm on the following turn when you use it. But this card was okay all day. DDL, standard, Fergit, Samorg, double Omen. So because of my side deck, I have to run 2. Otherwise, I would be running 1 with the access code. And the last card is Appaloosa. So I was debating heavily between running Appaloosa Omen or Rugal access code. But in the end, I saw on Friday how many Drytron there were. And I decided that, yeah, this card is way more impactful versus Drytron. I felt like Sword Soul was already like a decent matchup just because of the amount of hand traps I play and because like Protoss calling Dark in this scenario like doesn't really do much against this deck specifically. It does something. Not getting to Omen does hurt, but I felt that Appaloosa was just another way. If my desires banish Apex, I have another form of interruption, so you can just end on with Apex and DDL plus like Robin instead of the standard board. Just because this deck draws so many extenders, like it's actually crazy. And for the side deck, I have the Spell and Trap cards that I deal with. So I run Dark Samorg, 3 Twin, Double Cosmic, Duster, Reboot. I like the ratio a lot. In the finals against Sky Striker, I drew these 3 order plus full combo. So enough said there. It just secured me the victory. I might take out one of my cards for a 3rd Cosmic, just because Cosmic is so good against the PK, and I know that that deck is going to be more popular. Then I run 3 Mystic Mine. The only reason why I ran this card was because I didn't know what else to side deck in this spot, but going forward, these are going to be D barriers. But this did help me like deck out a Drytron player who went first and didn't put in Cosmics, or didn't put in at least 1 Cosmic, so that kind of just punished him. But it's hard when I just nib Ash Veiler Mystic Mind him. Then 3 Harpy's Feather Storm. This card's insane, honestly. This card just wins games that it just shouldn't, and it's just unfair. I feel like this card is going to get hit. I don't like oppressive cards, but this card is just too good in this deck not to play. And lastly, I run Oath. I'm the type of player who never goes for Oath combo because I feel like it's greedy. I usually just like to save my resources and then off with like 3 to 4 interruptions instead of like the 6 to 7. But there are like decks that you do want to run Oath against, and there are a lot of players that really won't respect this card as much, so I put it in there for that. So yeah, any changes I make, this card's debatable, but in like a locals format, it was a pretty big locals, but it was for a tournament, so there are a lot of Eldritch and there was Guru players, so I felt like this card was really good because in the end phase now you either have Avion or Dark Simor that you can use, and then Dark Simor just locks them out of spells and traps. So yeah, that's it. Shout outs to Midwest Gaming, shout outs to everybody, shout out to everybody that's in the YCS still that's gonna be doing. Yeah, that's pretty much. Oh, and shout out to the people that let me stay at their house when I was in Cali. Big shout outs to them, because if I just didn't talk with them and have a joke, this deck wouldn't have been possible. I still would probably be running 40 and still probably would be bricking. But yeah, I know that 60 cards may seem really wild, but you just have to give it a try. Like, the math all runs out. Like, it's really weird how it just works, but this deck barely ever bricks. You're gonna, I mean, of course, every deck is going to brick, but this deck, surprisingly, for a 60 card deck, bricks way less than what I thought it would be. So yeah, give this deck a try. It's really good, and I'll see you guys later.